Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences, raw conversations, one destination for it all. E360 TV.
Don't see what's yours for the taking tonight. Ooh, show me your soul, baby. I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Can't you see it's way past time? How explicit do I have to be? And then I spell it out before you get it, baby. Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you. I'll show you.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm feeling some kind of way this morning, y'all. It's Monday. I love them. Rainy, I was going to say runny days. No, not runny day. Ooh, I'm ashy. I need to put some of this product my niece makes on. Shameless plug. Anyway, yeah, welcome to Monday, everybody. I love Mondays. I love rainy days. I love Mondays. Thank you, Karen Carpenter. Love you. Welcome back to the work week, the love week, the soul week, the everything week. I'm so happy to be here with you. I tell you guys every day that I would rather be anywhere in the world except for maybe Fiji than right here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere but with you guys. I really do. I love what this is all about, us sharing our souls. I'm Lauren Michaels Harris, and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Now, hold on. This is how black mamas put it on you when you're little. They try to rub your lips off, your nose. I mean, and I used to be like, stop. But it was never. Here's the thing I used to hate when I was a little kid. When my mom, my grandma, or any of my aunts would say, come here, baby. And try, I was like, are you nasty or what? But anyway, that's how that was. You know you've done it or had it done to you. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments, like I said. And how was your weekend? How was it? Did you rest and relax? Did you rejuvenate? I certainly hope you did. I'll tell you guys more about this brand there, which my husband Brian and I are brand ambassadors for. I'll tell you all about that later in the week when they give me the ding, check off and go forward with it. I want to say good morning to all of you. Welcome back. I wish you lots of peace and everything you need to get to where you need to go today. Welcome to the show. Won't you please, my sidekick? This is my gal. This is my girl, my ride or die, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. And went to the health club this morning. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot last week. I wanted to say, you know, when I was, I had a music ministry when I got out of Up With People. I think I was like 19 years old. I had just come from a year with them. And I started a music ministry, and I used to be absolutely in awe of this guy who passed away last week, Carmen. Really an interesting artist. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Christian singer, and he used to do like these little mini movies. Just so awesome. He left us last week as a result of cancer, and so prayers of light and love to Carmen's family and loved ones. So man, broke my heart to hear about that. So anyway, also a quick reminder, we are still in the process of raising $3,500 for the Brett Wise Scholarship Foundation, which would educate a child from a Kenyan village for 4 years in high school, complete 4 years, clothing, room, board, all the things they need, their books, travel home during breaks, all of that. And especially girls, because girls are not that, it's just they don't think girls need to be educated for some reason, but we're going to help change that, right? So I'm going to put this on the screen for you guys. I want you to just get over it. $1, a dime, a quarter, $5, $100, $1,000, whatever. Get over to wisescholarshipfoundation.org, would you please, if you could, and donate what you can, or just spread the word, send it out. I know Beatrice Pena has started a Facebook, what do you call it, fundraiser? Yeah, for first senior moment of the week. Hi, I wondered when you were going to get here. WiseScholarshipFoundation.org, doing wonderful things. Brett Weiss has put 72 kids through 4 years of education, which changes not only their lives, but the lives of all of their families. So please consider doing that, won't you? Welcome. I see Robert's here. Robert, but 2 Roberts are in the house today. Sherry McQueen. I know I saw Lori Whitney. Hello. Good morning, beautiful people. Michelle Marie, and all of the rest of you. Welcome to today's installment. I want to know about the vaccine. Raise your hand, say hi, put in the comments, have any of you had the first shot? I have not. My husband, Brian, has not. He's on the list. I'm on the list. My parents-in-law had their first one a few weeks ago, and they're due in 2 weeks, a week from tomorrow, actually, to get their second installment of the vaccine. Just curious how you're feeling about it. You know, enough time, a little more time has gone by. Do you feel it's safe to take it? I just want to know. Drop it in the comments if you could. And then last but not least, in 3 weeks, I lost 11 pounds. Only 40 to go. Okay, I'm not really losing 40 more, but we ate our way. We cooked our way, then we ate our way through most of quarantine and most of the pandemic last year. And now we've decided to do better. So we're doing better. That's all there is to it. Get up and look for the ER in your life and take what is already great and make it greater. You don't need to work with all 26 letters of the alphabet. You know this, right? You don't have to get up and start writing your story every day from scratch. You can get up already great, because you are great just as you are, and look for an E and an R. And remember, when you stick those on the end, because bright became brighter, remember on the front end, those same 2 letters, the E and the R, are going to be in reverse, because now they're with a word called more responsibility, more opportunity, more joy, more love, more chance to be of service to others. Can I get an amen? And speaking of service to others, oh, Lordy, 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 we have a guest today. She's never been here, but I have worked with her. Her name is GAYLE Nicholson, not related to Jack, I don't think. I'm assuming, but you know what the 4 agreements say about that. Don't make assumptions. So let me tell you about today's guest, GAYLE Nicholson. She is a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I feel you, girl. Kidnapping. I can't claim that one. Well, wait a minute. I will talk about it. Kidnapping and severe neglect. She's developed a certain skill for overcoming horrific experiences. Sharing this skill has since become her life's work. online, and also in person. Gayle's been sharing the tools and techniques that she's used to navigate this path of our own recovery, leading global audiences to understand 3 things. Here we go. 1, recovery is indeed possible. Energy work is essential. Number 2, and finally, choice is a superpower, which is available to all of us. So there's more to it, but I'd rather show you than tell you. So the only way to make that happen is what? Get your hearts on the screen, you guys. Put your heart into it as we bring to the stage, to the show, Ms. GAYLE NICHOLSON.
Hey!
Hello.
Hi. 10-second countdown. You still surprised me.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
This is a giant fly swatter, but you know what it's for this morning. So there.
Yes, I do.
You look great.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So do you. You look well. 11 pounds down.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's phenomenal. Let me see if I can get myself centered here.
11 pounds.
That is phenomenal.
I know. I'm so excited.
And the sugar stuff went first. All this floppy stuff in here, huh?
I carry it around the waist, and it started to melt off finally, and I'm hitting those sit-ups and crunches. And it only took a couple weeks of going every day, Monday through Friday, but now it's like I look forward to it. And I tell you, 30 days is a magic number. Do something for 30 straight days, and it's going to become a part of your life, including if it's a negative. So keep that in mind. So, that's the bell of purpose, you guys. If you're new here for the first time, and I think a couple of you are, the bell of purpose in its 3rd year with us here on Bathrobe Moments is your chance. When you hear the bell ring, it means back your car up. There's something in the road. It's not roadkill. It's going to be something you want to at least take a look at. And you might want to take it home in the trunk with you. You'll be glad you did later. So put your comments on the screen. GAYLE, say hello to everybody. Tell us where you are in the world and what is it that you do to impact the world.
Oh, thanks for the opportunity. Hi, everyone. My name is GAYLE NICHOLSON. I am a resilience coach and miracle making queen. I right now am in Detroit. It's snowing. I am so excited. It's snowing out my window here in Detroit. I know it's a novelty for me. I've lived in
gotta be, because clearly we're not. You say snowing, us in Chicago, we're like, I'm just kidding. Because we had like, I don't know, 2 or 3 or 4 feet in the last couple of weeks. So, I mean, it's like almost up to the roof on some people's houses. Yeah. So what are you doing in Detroit?
Well, my oldest daughter's birthday was Saturday. So I flew up for that. But then her husband is retiring from Marines.
How can she be married? Isn't she only 6?
Yeah.
You don't look like you could have a child older than 6.
Well, thank you. But no, my oldest daughter is 33. My youngest is 28.
Wow. Yeah. You're looking good, GAYLE.
Thank you. Small dogs are always puppies.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so you're in Detroit, but where is it that you live?
I live in the western suburbs of Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, I used to live in Phoenix 11 years.
Did you? When was
I was stationed there in the military, in the Air Force.
Oh, so I'm right down the road from where you used to live.
Well, you're probably at Luke, near Luke. Yeah, yes. I was at Williams. They closed that base in the late 80s. That's when early 90s. That's when I got, yeah. They were over by Apache Junction.
Oh, okay.
Chandler, Mesa out there. Yeah, and you're by Luke. I know Luke, Metro Center Mall. They still got that place?
Metro Center is dead. There may be still a couple of stores in it.
Oh, wow. Metro Center used to be it really did. I managed a Jeans West store in there. Nice. When I first got, I did both. Got off work and went from the base and would drive all the way over there. So this is a real culture shock for you as far as snow and whatnot. So I get it. So tell us a little bit about your backstory. You had some real strong words inside your bio about some experiences. Which one would you like to start with?
Well, let's start with that kidnapping thing, because there is various shades of gray where it comes to that. It's not like some white van pulled up in the middle of the street and said, "Hey, little girl, you want some candy?" and I got in and I was gone, right? In my particular case, it was, I don't even know if they have a particular term for it, but it was divorce kidnapping. It was one parent not returning after a visitation, keeping the child from the other parent, not bringing him back. 2 years I was hidden from
For
my mom.
2 years?
2 years. Lived in an office trailer that had no electricity, no running water, and extension cord that would come in to feed the space heater, the space rather. I slept on top of a metal desk. We had no bathroom. There were jugs of urine in the bathroom that my father would use. I had to wait until the tool and die factory opened up in order to use a bathroom. So my body just normally, I never wake up in the middle of the night to go to the potty anymore.
So what about school and stuff?
I was enrolled in 5 different schools in my 5th grade year, and it took almost 2 years for the truant officer to catch up with me. And the truant officer is actually what began the end of that kidnapping period for me, because she found my dad. She warned him that, you know, he was going to be put in jail if I wasn't in school. And then he ended up trying to find me a place to live so that I could be stable, go to school, and so on. So about 2 weeks after the truant officer showed up, my
dad I'm just so enthralled by this. I'm throwing stuff everywhere. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. So about 2 weeks after, my dad had found this lady who worked for a roller rink. Her mother had been a foster parent because of competitive skating before that. So she suggested that her mom take care of me. That night, my dad dropped me off in a garbage bag full of dirty clothes in a stranger's house, and I slept on their den couch for the night. Well, they gave me a bedroom, but that first night I slept on the couch in the den.
So, okay, wait a minute. So nowadays, if something like that would happen, because I get those alerts on my phone all the time, you know, and when you're on the freeways here in Chicago, you'll see it up on they'll put Amber Alert. Right. So was there Amber Alert when this happened? Was there that kind of thing? Was anybody looking for you?
879.
So who was looking for you? Your mom?
Looking for me.
Not even your mom?
Nope.
So why is that kidnapping if she wasn't looking for you?
It wasn't that she wasn't looking for me. It was that my father had beat her down enough for her to be like, there's nothing I can do. Oh. And as many times as she'd gotten beaten by him and the police were called and the police went, nothing we can do because it's the 70s and you can rape your own wife and you can beat your own wife and all of that, and even be a divorced spouse refusing to leave the house, and the cops will not take a man out of the home.
Okay, that's how things were.
Yeah, so she was like, I have no resources. I have no help. She was legally blind. She couldn't drive. She couldn't even like go to where he was. So she was at his mercy on when he was going to deliver me back.
So how did that all turn out?
Court, couple of weeks after he dropped me off there, he came and picked me up and he took me to Canada for Easter vacation and then didn't bring me back. So the new school called my foster mom and said, why isn't she back in school? Easter vacation's over. And my foster mother told her, well, her dad came and got it. Well, what do you mean her dad's not living there with you? That's what he told us. And she's like, no, I've just got the kid. And they went, do you have a foster care license? And she's like, no, I just have the kid. And they went, all right, this doesn't work. So they forced us all to go to court. My father never showed up for court, but we went through the, all the little hoops and bells and whistles to make it all official. And for 2 years, I was a ward of the court and a foster child in this woman's home until the mandate, the court mandate is that you restore the family. So they pressured my mother to marry the boyfriend that she was dating at the time to provide a home for me. So I went from sleeping in that trailer on a metal desk to a structured home of foster care for 2 years where my time was managed and I don't want to say controlled, but it was structured. I mean, and kids.
Well, that's what kids need.
Out of structure, right?
Yeah.
Into here's my new stepdad, the drug dealer. So
How old were you during this transition?
10, 11, 12.
And
Yeah.
when did life, man, I don't even know what to call it. Well, when did things seem to come together for Gayle? Let's put it that way. What age were you?
How do you mean come together?
Well, when I know in my case, choices were made for me until I chose to get out of the system and petition at 17. Took till I was 18 anyway to get it pulled off, but I was on independent living at age 16. So the courts let me live on my own and paid me instead of the foster home. And I had my own apartment, went to work 8 hours a day after school, all through my second semester of my junior year, all the way through my high school, my senior year. I worked full time, lived in my own apartment, did my own grocery shopping, all that stuff. And that was a new thing back then called independent living. It was a pilot program. Yeah. So, and again, for me, it was the 70s as well.
No, for in this particular case, I guess, went from the foster home to my mother's place. And that was the end of, the court being actively involved as far as me being a ward of the court.
Right.
And then I was at my mom's for maybe 2 years before I was just like, there's no way I'm going to finish high school here in Detroit, but I can do it. So we found a place for me to go. So I moved in with my sister. My sister legally adopted me in order to take me out of state to Vermont. And I finished high school there. 3 days before I graduated, I found out I was pregnant. And so the journalism career that, the photojournalists flying the world, taking pictures for National Geographic dream flew out the window. And I self-punished. I went back to my mother because I had, according to our family values, I had really screwed up. I'd gotten pregnant outside of wedlock and I deserved nothing. That's the mentality that I was operating under. So I moved back to my mom and I was able to get into Canada. My dad was Canadian. And they have a wonderful system over there. I was able to go to college. My daycare was paid for. My home was, like the basics were paid for, and my education was paid for. And I ended up going for that journalism degree anyway.
Well, I find it so interesting because you had these fractured relationships with both your mom and your dad, but nonetheless, you were able to come in and out of both of their lives, it seems like, at different points through your journey. And so I'm interested in how are your relationships with each of them today?
Well, they've both passed.
Okay. Sorry for that.
And, with my father, when I started dealing with my PTSD, dealing with me and actually processing things and going to group and going to 12-step meetings and all of that, when everything kind of came to a head, and I knew what he'd done to me. I had an idea what he'd done to my sister. When my older brother started going through therapy and wrote this long letter for his therapist, and then his therapist said, share this with the family. And I found out what my father had been doing to my brother with his poker team. I was. What
do you mean by that? What? Making a kid play poker or some Texas Hold'em?
Cuffing a kid in the basement to the beams while the poker club is over there and having a shot at the boy one after another.
What do you mean having a shot? Sexually?
Sexual abuse. That's what I mean.
A group of pedophiles?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Yes. So that's where I broke. I was like, what happened with me and my dad is wrong, but it's one thing. What happened between me and my dad and my sister is wrong, but it's another thing. That one with my brother, I could no longer slip into dutiful daughter for a couple hours, 3 times a week, go visit him at the nursing home, take care of him, take him out for errands. I couldn't. And it was very much an issue for me because I was very much brought up as the youngest of 5 that I lived with and 4 more that I didn't. I'm the dutiful daughter. When they get older, I'm supposed to be the one to take care of them.
Okay. So you were in both of your parents' lives, I'm assuming, up until they transitioned.
Yes. Yeah.
So can
Yes,
you tell?
there was a point where I told my dad, no, the last person on earth who ever loved you never wants to see you again. And for 5 years after that, I never saw him. My youngest daughter was born. She never met her grandfather, even though he was alive in the same city.
Okay.
And then the nursing home called me, found me, and I got connected with him 2 weeks before he died. He was like, it wasn't comatose. The doctor said he'd had so many mini strokes in his brain that he could no longer communicate.
Okay.
Alcoholism, but he could hear. He just couldn't respond. So I was there the last 2 weeks of his life and got closure with my mother.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Was the doorknob on that door to closure comprised of, say, forgiveness? Maybe. Thank you, honey. Good morning.
Yeah.
How did you ever forgive? Did you forgive one, both, none? How'd that work? Talk about that. That's a huge piece. I'm gonna back off and let you take that piece right up to commercial break. I'll be right back in. But you just tell everybody about how you did that, because a lot of people can't, especially when it comes to sexual abuse and stuff. I used to. Well, you can't see it there, but if I move it, yeah, that right there, that People magazine. I was the apology king. I actually had a business that. For years out in Hollywood, we did apologies for people. It was called Apology Accepted. We did apologies for people who couldn't or wouldn't do it for themselves. So I have a little history in that. I'm always intrigued by hearing the forgiveness piece. So if you could frame that for us and tell us how you found your way or not to forgiving one or both or none of your parents either. So here, take off with that one. This is a good one.
Okay. Well, here's where I'll start with it. I was in group therapy, women's group, and I walked in one day, and when it came time for me to share, I shared about the fact that I had forgiven my father, and it was very, very strange to them. I mean, it's a very alien concept that you could actually forgive your father. But for me, what it came to was the little things that I knew about my dad's life, that they weren't all chocolate and roses. To go away to a Halloween party when you're 8 years old and come home and your mother's dead because she had an aneurysm in the kitchen while you were gone. Running away at the age of 12. I don't know all of these other things that might have happened to him, but through the 12 steps and but coming to know a power greater than myself, as whatever, coming to know that power greater than myself and figuring out what God actually means for me. All of that kind of led into where we disempower ourselves with not forgiving people. So I took a look at who my father was and what he did. And I realized at some point that hurt people, and that he would have had to have been in a lot of pain in order to feel better by hurting other people the way that he did. So I found some compassion for him first, that he wasn't a vile, evil person. He did evil things because he hurt so badly. And it's not that I pity him. He had choices just like we all do. But I do understand that he made the best choice he thought himself capable of at the time. So, that's that with that.
Okay.
And similarly with my mom, I just understood what she was dealing with and what she could do and what society didn't allow her to do, that I had much more power to be able to do myself. So it's kind of funny. It's a Bill Cosby moment, right? Where you go, I'm judging you today based on today's standards and not the way the world was back then, right?
Right. Because things change. So when you were going through all this, even back at the very beginning, when all of you were together in the home before all the, kidnapping and all that took place, was there a religious corner in your family dynamic? Was there any of that? And the reason I'm asking that is because when we come back from break, we're gonna get into your woo-woo-ness.
Okay.
And a lot of us who have grown into accepting these other shades of spirituality that weren't even in most cases inside of the formula when we were in organized religion, which was cast upon most of us because it was a family dynamic, just the way it was. You didn't have any say-so in it. I wanted to but a lot of us start with an organized base in which to go from. And I was just curious before we go out to commercial, was that the case in your home?
Yes, we actually had a vibrant and fulfilling spiritual Methodist religious upbringing when I was very, very little. I've sat around tables with many recovering Catholics. I've sat around tables with all kinds of people that were abused by the Bible, right? Like people use the Bible to abuse them, and it's awful.
Yeah, it does happen.
But I was lucky that my roots were in Jesus and promises and rainbows and Noah's Ark, and up until the age of 8. So when I started looking to understand a God of my understanding, that's where I came from.
That's where it came. Okay, so you do have a basis there. Okay, and when we come back, would you mind taking us into some of the stuff you and your 2 cohorts do with it's 3 of you, right?
Yep, 3 crones in the woo-woo.
3 crones in the woo. I love that name. I love it. So when we come back, we're going to get into more of that, more of the spiritualism and all of the things that are magical, including the magic lady herself, GAYLE Nicholson. We're going to get into that and much more. Get your questions ready and get those comments going. We'll be back in just a second. Don't you dare go away. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. It is 2222021. A lot of 2s in there. Angel numbers. I want to know who can find out and put it in the comments what the angel number 222 or 2222. I want to find out. Let's talk about that because we're going into with our guests. First of all, let me say thank you to my sponsor for today, Intention Pens. where I have my own that says through me and not from me. Can you see that? Get over and check them out. I have a lot of friends who are starting to order these, and I'm telling you, going to sign a lot of great contracts with this very pen. Get yours today over at intentionpen.com. Also, thank you to livetraders.com, where you can go and learn everything there is to know about how even you may not be a numbers person, but you get over and take a look at what they're offering. You might be surprised at what you can do getting your hands inside the stock market. Livetraders.com. Okay, let's get GAYLE Nicholson back in. GAYLE, tell us about the show first, if you could. You and the other two and your 3 crones. What is a crone?
A crone is actually a late stage woman. So we have the maiden, that is the childhood of a woman, 0 to 18.
Okay.
Then we have, I think it's a hag or something like that.
A hag?
No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Meanings for the words of crone.
Okay.
That etymology history is interesting too. So you've got the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Okay, so the mother is for the motherhood years, from like 18 to 50, menopause, when you can no longer be a mother anymore.
That's just a hag.
You can no longer be a mother anymore, have any more children, then you step into the crone era of your life, right?
I don't know why I thought crone had something to do with chickens or birds or something. I don't know where I got that from, but I was like, I better find it.
Tackling old crones?
Maybe. I mean, that's so funny that you said hag. That's so funny. I'm gonna laugh all day over that one. So tell me how you guys came about starting this. Why and what's inside of there? I find it very intriguing.
Nice. Well, thanks for bringing it up. We're trying to get the word out about it because it's turned into something a lot of fun. I had because of the coronavirus pandemic, I started a show called The Spotlight, and I had on the show Joanne Angelberry Cologne, who is the owner of Holistic Fitness New York, and she's very, very, she's just amazing online in talking about the things that she does. She's got her own show that she does on Strong Island Radio on Sundays and so on. She had Krista on her show, or somehow they started talking to each other, and then they started collaborating. They're like, well, looks like we're supposed to be doing some things together. I just get this gut feeling like we're supposed to do some things together. But gut says there's supposed to be 3 of us. And the only person those 2 both knew, was me. So they call me up and they say, hey, what's going on? You want to play?
See, there's intention right there.
Yeah. And so I had the toys, I had the show, I had the ability to create a new show. And we just started fleshing it out. Okay, well, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about what the things that we do, that we know: astrology, numerology, crystals, Reiki, energy work, spirituality, all of those things that, and we discovered as we're thinking it through, this is stuff that is the magic of being woman, right? Like, as a female, there's a certain magic that you have over the course of the stages of life, right? And, we just kind of wanted to bring all of that together. So we created the show. Every week, Joanne has a galactic weekly forecast where we talk about angel numbers. We talk about the dates. Yes. And we talk about astrologically, where are the planets, what can we expect from different transits going through, because astrology is not just about your horoscope. I mean, there's factors, that lead off from that. And
but right there, let's just jump in there real quick. That's why I brought up that basis of having had a regular or a structured religious background growing up. How were you raised? I was, where astrology and stuff was the devil.
Yes.
Okay, so how is that now in your world? And how do you frame that when you're around Christian believers? I mean, do you ever have that conversation? Yes
and no. One of my brothers that got left behind when I got kidnapped, he became a fundamentalist Baptist. So I have had many of these conversations. And at some point, I always just kind of take a deep breath, close my mouth, close my eyes, center, and smile. Because I'm not here to convince you of what you're convinced of.
Mm-hmm.
I already understand that God created you to be the version of God that would have your experiences so that you could, report back at the end of your job, right? Same for me, same for you, Lauren. We all
Yeah.
have our own thing that it's our job to go experience life as Lauren, as GAYLE, and evolve, learn, report back, because that's the only way that God gets to be in the world, through us, right?
That's true.
I just kind of look at it like you can believe that, and your belief in that makes it real for you. And that's freaking amazing, actually, that we are all like that. But I don't have to have your approval for my version of God.
Well, that's true. That's true. So can I ask you another woo-woo question?
Sure.
Because I got a gift from a Secret Santa. Well, it wasn't secret after he told me who it was. In a group I'm in, and they sent me a crystal, and they handmade the filigree or whatever that's around it and designed it. Yeah, the wire wrap, and they told me to charge it under the moon.
Okay.
And I had no idea what they're talking about. I still haven't done that yet. Talk about that sort of stuff. What is that all about?
Okay. When you want to charge a crystal under the moon, okay, first of all, the moon is reflected feminine light. It's not the direct sun, harsh bright thing, okay? So it's a soft and gentle energy. So then you also want to look at when the moon is full, you're charging it for releasing things. There's no more room in here, okay? Releasing things. When the moon is waxing, which means it's going through its first quarter, that's a time for building things. So when you want to increase, that's what you're charging for, increasing during the waning moon or the
like abundance.
Yes, like abundance.
Okay.
If you've got a particular crystal and you want a particular goal, then you're going to pray over that crystal in the moon of the waxing moon, or the light of the waxing moon, and ask for your prayers to be amplified by this crystal to receive what you're requesting. Okay. So do you get that now?
I do. But I also, see what I mean? I think it's important when people, it's just like if a Jehovah's Witness is at my door on a Saturday morning, they're usually not empty-handed. They're going to say, here's a watchtower or whatever it is they have, some instructions, some guidelines, or something that speaks to what they're doing. And, of course, I love the crystal, I know, but I haven't worn it. I think I wore it once, but I felt kind of fraudulent because I didn't understand it. And I don't want to wear something that has actual power just as an adorning thing. Everything, like even this means something, but I understand it. Right. So I wear it because I count on it to assist me. So I really feel, tell me how you think when people are passing these things to people, do you believe it either should come with some kind of vocal, here's this, now this is what it means, do this, because there's people that don't touch my crystal, don't touch it, all these things, what the do's and don'ts. And I wasn't told anything other than charge it under the moon, and I didn't know what that meant. What I do, like go plug it in somewhere? What do I do? And what is that doing? Do you feel that there is a responsibility on both sides of the table when you're giving someone these kinds of things, that woo-woo that they don't know anything about? And if you're going to receive it, make sure you know what you're receiving. Because what if somebody gives you something that is not a positive thing and you don't know and you just start?
Yeah. Okay.
Let's
unpack this for a second. First of all, as far as the responsibility thing, I think yes, but I think it's human nature as well. I mean, if I hand you a crystal, right, and I've had this happen to me before, I hand you a crystal and I start telling you all the little teeny tiny basic stuff that you would want to know about it, right? But I don't know that 2 years ago you used to teach classes on crystals and you know more than I could possibly tell you, right? That comes across as a little awkward, arrogant, whatever, because I don't really know what your experience with crystals is. So if I start teaching you from you don't know anything, but then you do know something, that's...
I mean, if you gave me something and said, Lauren, you know what? I was led. I feel directed to gift you this. I don't know what you're going through or whatever, but let me tell you what this is, the origin of it, and why I'm giving it to you, because I know that it can help or assist. That's the kind of thing, because I'm going to say this. So many things are available to us that we don't understand, that can change so many things about our journey and the journeys of others. But I think when we invite people to learn, or people are asking, that it shouldn't be some fly by night. Oh, here, just this, that, and the other. I mean, that's really big stuff. And it's not something you can go into well, I don't know. Are there I bet there are churches, woo-woo churches. Are there woo-woo churches where people go and have services and stuff?
Churches.
Or is that called a coven?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I actually, I'm an ordained metaphysical minister, and I did my my service at the Center of Light Metaphysical Church in Lapeer, Michigan.
Okay. Oh, Lapeer. I know. I know that place. So you're now. I got my head. I'm like, so you're in this church, an actual building.
Well, it was a geodesic dome, but the church is not the building; it's the people.
Okay, so you're in there. So walk us through it. Is it like a traditional church service? You guys singing songs?
Less pompous than a traditional church service. We do sing, we do sing many of the hymns that you would know. And then, there's a homily, the minister, or, on occasion myself, I would give a talk about the day. And quite often in the church that I was at, we would use common current stuff. Like I did one homily on an Avril Lavigne song. And I said, just, listen to this, considering God's talking to you when you act this way.
Okay, so you guys do use the terminology God in there.
Yeah.
Now, what about Jesus? Is that a part of it in there? Because, some people, it's God, source, higher power, energy, universe, but you never hear Jesus. And I'm just curious. I mean, we all came from that religious background. Is that in there?
I would say that I'm more like one of those people that doesn't include Jesus than the woo-woo churches are. My perspective on Jesus is Jesus was the Son of God, and I am a daughter of God, and you're the Son of God too. So all of Jesus even so told us, all of these things I can do, you can do too, right? And I actually learned quite a bit from Jesus's words, as opposed to what other people have interpreted Jesus's words to mean for their own.
Exactly. I agree with you on that one. So tell us about this necklace you're wearing. Is there meaning behind it?
This one here?
Oh, you have two. I thought that was one. Okay. So whatever. I want to find out tell us why you have that on, because energy people don't really do much of adornment without there being something connected to it, from my experience. So talk about that if you could.
Very much so. Well, let me start with this. This is Baltic Amber. I got this from my sponsor on 3 Crones in the Woo Woo. It's called an adult teether. And what Baltic Amber does is it's a very soft analgesic. So my body heat warms up this. It's not really a stone. It's a sap.
Oh, like a resin?
Yeah, like a resin. Exactly.
Okay.
And it releases just a little bit into my skin so that my shoulder pain goes away. It works for babies for teething.
Oh.
Children have had these teethers. Okay. So now that I'm older and I get all these joint aches and pains, I'm telling you, this thing does wonders. And I don't have to rip up my liver with Tylenol, and I don't have to stomach ache it through for pain relievers. It does a really good job. Now this is the one you really want to know about, because most people wear a cross, right? And this is a star, right?
Okay.
Diamond in the middle of it. Because of my studies and what I knew a long time ago, before this last solstice, that the Star of Bethlehem was Jupiter, rising before dawn with the sun just behind it. And it went retrograde while the wise men were following it. The wise men were Babylonian astrologers. They had a different system of astrology and understanding the star travels than Nebuchadnezzar's dream team.
Right.
Nebuchadnezzar's dream interpreters never saw it coming, but the wise men were already on the road following it as it traversed across the sky.
Correct.
And if you read the Bible and you look at the pathway, right, they went past and then they went back.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know that.
Followed the path of a retrograde star, right? And so I've always looked at my religiosity, if you want to, my Christianity. My Christianity is more based in the order of the universe, light, the birth of Christ, than it is about the death, the resurrection, the loss, the suffering. Now, if that's the track you want to go, that's completely valid for you. But I've seen enough fucking hell. Sorry.
No, I mean, I feel you.
I've got to discipline my mind, to stay positive, to stay in the light, or else,
And I get it. I'm open to, I have some of both still with me. If it's the truth, I take it from wherever I can find it. It is within everything.
Yes.
And so I think it's a matter of extracting what resonates with you as the truth, because there's a reason they say the truth has a ring to it. You see what I mean?
Yes.
So we have to fine tune ourselves to the frequency of the truth based on how we have tied into and accepted that frequency, which is our own truth. In order to engage the law of attraction and all that. That's just how I see it. Now, I want to ask you something, because you said retrograde, and I've been talking about this. You guys remember the last few weeks, a lot of people, including myself, I didn't know that was a thing, but a lot of people were saying, oh, Lauren, you're going through this, that, and the other because of Mercury retrograde. Now, can you shine some light on that? Because I've been asking them out there to put it in the comments or this, that, and no one will touch it. So tell us how you feel about it. What does that mean in your world? Mercury retrograde. Did you experience anything? And how often does this show up?
It shows up 3 to 4 times a year. Okay. And depending on in which house astrologically it will give it a different flavor. Okay. But the basic Kool-Aid of it is Mercury is the planet that we think of as far as communications and that type of thing. It's very fast. Communications, it's between us and the sun. When it appears to go retrograde, it seems like it's going backwards in the sky, but it does not. However, energetically, it pulls backwards from where it's designed to be going. So we get this disruption in communications, digital. What kind of computer problems you've had this last week? Yeah. And it's stupid little stuff and then it disappears, or it works itself out. But it's just frustrating little duck bite glitches, right? That's Mercury retrograde. Now, don't sign any brand new contracts. It won't go well.
During it.
Yeah.
Is it over?
Yes, it's over. It's in its shadow phase going out. There's like a week on each end where your shadow phase going in and shadow phase going out. But it's essentially over now. Now, like I said, it's not a good time to start anything new, but don't let that get you afraid of Mercury retrograde. Oh, everything's going to screw up. It's going to be a really hard 2 weeks.
Or if somebody did start something new because they were ignorant to this thing, like myself, should we be worried about or concerned about things that we have initiated during this time period? Or
don't make it become anything bigger than it is. Just know that whatever you did initiate during this time period, there's going to be small little irritants about it. Communications are going to get crossed wires.
People were like on each other's nerves, last nerves. The smallest little things were tipping everybody off. So it really is a real thing. Yeah.
And now, like I said, it's not a time for starting new things, but it's really good time for going back and doing the next phase of something that's already begun, right? And you're going back and editing or rewriting or whatever the case may be, continuing to work on something, right? Or, even don't make a new pot of stew, pull the stew out of the freezer. That's the community
I see.
To get across.
Okay. So,
Yes.
Gayle, I can't believe the time has just flown by. Somebody, Sherry McQueen, says she wants you to come back. She wants to hear much more, so we'll have to put that in the hopper. And before we get out of here, tell people, if you could, about some of the things. Where can they find you to continue the dialogue? And you coach people as well, correct?
I do, actually.
Talk about that if you could.
Energy work and spiritual coaching to help survivors of adverse childhood experiences and and veterans.
Is there a website?
Yeah, go to GAYLENICHOLSON.com, spelled just like my identifier right there.
Okay. And what is it you coach people on? PSTD and just all kinds of stuff?
PSTD, recovery from childhood sexual abuse issues. And
That's a big one. A big one.
Of PTSD across the
country. That's a pretty big piece to bite off, Gayle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you know why I love that you coach people in that? Because I found in the coaching world myself that sometimes people will come to me for certain things, and I have to refer them to someone like my husband, a psychologist or a counselor or somebody before they can get to this. But then it's also nice that in order to get to that, some people need a little coddling, a little loving up on to take that bigger bite of the apple and go to someone who is like my husband, a PhD in that, or they have the credentials. So it works in both directions. Yes. The most important thing, I think, is that there is always something there for no matter who you are or where you are at that particular moment in your journey. Just start. And so I put it up on the screen, and I'm going to keep it up there. You guys get over to GAYLENICHOLSON.com. Ask any questions. Gayle, you have a lot of comments and stuff in the chat box there. So if you want to go back afterwards and address those, that would be great. And we will have to get you back because I think we need more. Next time I bring you back, can you bring some artifacts? Can you bring some things and teach us a little bit about what this even holistically with herbs or balms or things that, alternative options to popping pills.
Lauren, I will be your emotional support witch on your show.
Well, why don't you, I'm looking over here seriously, because this is important to a lot of people. In March, I want you to take a look at the 16th, 18th, or 19th. And if you can do any one of those days, we're going to get you back for a little mini workshop where I can just get off the screen and you can just hold up. I'd love to learn. I have an angel coach in Dominique Rivera, the Oracle, and I have a workbook and everything, learning all about my angels and things like that. So I'm really loving it. And I think it'd be great if you'd come back, if you could do that for us and just share with us and enlighten us so that we can do the same for others. Would you do that?
Yeah, I can do this.
Okay, let me know which one of those days could work for you.
The 19th?
The 16th, 18th, or 19th?
I will have to take the 19th. I'm booked on the other two.
Okay, so we got you, and it's going to be like a little workshop. So don't expect me to do much, but ask questions and stuff. If that's okay. Because I would really love to see some of the things. I don't know if you use gongs or bells or anything that you think we don't know enough about. Did you know that this seed, if you suck on this seed for 5 minutes, whatever it is, I want to know. And with the people you got a show about it. You're in it. You've been ordained. So come on and just lift us up and encourage us on the 19th of March, you guys. So there it is. Gayle Nicholson, I want to thank you so much for starting your day with us, showing your soul to us, and allowing us to show you a little bit of ours. You guys, we'll be back tomorrow to do it all over again, God willing, at 8 a.m. Central. I'll meet you out front on the front porch. And I'm waiting to replace a guest who came down with COVID, believe it or not. I'm sending prayers for him. And so I have something out there. We'll see who bites and comes back tomorrow. But no matter what, if it's just you and me, the promise will still be fulfilled that where two or more of us come together, not something great might, should, could, or would happen. Trust me, it will, as it did today. Gayle, God bless you. Thank you. We'll see you back here on the 19th of March for a mini workshop on all kinds of things you might not have known, but you'll be glad you know it now. Right, Gayle?
Absolutely.
Okay, you guys, get out there and be the very best you can be. Be the blessing you want to receive. Be the gift that you want to receive from the world. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.